Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at some of the signals we had off the 30-minute chart in ES futures today. On the 30-minute chart, there's really three main triggers that I like and that I look for. One of them is a bearish shooting star. The other is a 30-minute bullish hammer. Another are our bull and bear flags, and then to a lesser degree, reversal dojis. We like reversal dojis. Again, not quite as strong as signals. We like to use those in conjunction with some other confirmations, but the three big ones are definitely a bearish shooting star, a bullish hammer, and bull and bear flags. And in the ES, we had a couple of those today. This was actually during the London session. We weren't trading during the London session, but this was a strong bearish shooting star. You could see that the ES had been pushing up in the overnight. They had the Gilead news, pushed prices higher. Then they started to pull back, and then we set up this bearish shooting star. And what makes this a bearish shooting star is that the topping tail was followed up by the body being all selling. So buyers were trying to push price back up, sellers stepped in, pushed price down, and then took control of the bar. The entire body of the bar was selling. Then it triggered to the downside, and this caused this nice large move to the downside in the ES. This was like a 40-point move in the ES to the downside. Of course, we came in the US session right in here, triggered the continuation doji to the downside, and continued to move down. But it all started with this bearish shooting star. And then we left a hammer, but this is not really a bullish hammer, because while we did leave this bottoming tail showing a reluctance to sell off any further, the actual body of this bar was still selling. That's not a strong bullish hammer. And you can see, even though this next bar technically triggered this to the upside, you really didn't get any kind of follow through to speak of for the next hour and a half. You did finally get a little push up here off of this continuation doji. And then we set up another bearish shooting star right here. We left a topping tail. The body of this bar was also all selling, triggered to the downside, and then we got a nice little move to the downside right here. This was actually during the lunch, or right after the lunch and during the afternoon session. And then we left this bottoming tail on this bullish hammer. Big bottoming tail. The body of the bar finished in buying. That means that the buyers completely overwhelmed selling and took control of this bar. And then you can see price just moved higher off of that. This bullish hammer triggered. This bar opened at the bottom, closed almost at the top. Another one opened at the bottom, broke out of our channel. We had been chopping in this channel for about 5 hours. You can see, these are 30-minute bars, and we've been chopping in this channel for about 5 hours. Right around in here, we actually put the channel lines on, waiting for a breakout one way or the other. However, we did get a decent push right here on this little mini move to the downside. And then again, like I said, we left this bottoming tail. Body of the bar was all buying, and then we triggered higher, broke out of this channel to the upside, and made a strong move right up into the close, because the top of this channel was right here at 28.45.25, and this bar moved into the close all the way up to 28.71. So a little more than 25, almost 30 points in the ES moving into the close. But this gave us some nice setups throughout the day, and of course, we have been trading the 5-minute chart, and you can see that right in here is where that shooting star actually formed in the London session. And then we began to push down, and we had some nice setups right here. Right in here is where we came in the U.S. session. Price pushed down, set up the 5-minute bear flag. Bear flag triggered, made a nice push to the downside, consolidated a little bit, actually pulled back just a little bit. We had touched significantly undervalued on the 30-minute chart, made a little pullback, and then continued lower. And you can see that Trender Pro 2.0 kept you in this trade. The bar stayed red. This is our trail stop bar, but you can see price never broke above that bar right there. So that did not take us out of the trade, or it would not take you out of the trade. I personally was not trading this trade. Just full disclosure, I was not actually trading this trade. But these are the signals that we're looking for when we do trade. And part of the rules of the new Trender 2.0 is this trail stop bar. If price closed above that, that would take us out. But price never broke above that bar. And so that kept you in for really most of this entire move to the downside. And again, we had some nice flags, setups, nice 5-minute bear flag there, another bear flag right there, another one right there. So, even if you didn't stick with the trade long term, you still had some decent entries, and we had 30-minute confirmation. That 30-minute chart was bearish, and then right in here is where we went into that consolidation period, and this is where that little mini shooting star triggered, and it triggered to the downside and gave us another nice setup. Pushed down, set up the 5-minute bear flag, triggered to the downside, consolidated a little bit, set up another 5-minute bear flag, and also triggered to the downside. And then this is where that 30-minute hammer formed. We left these bottoming tails, and then the ES began to push up. Had a failed 5-minute bear flag. The 5 crossed the 18 to the upside. We broke out of that 30-minute channel, and then the ES had a nice strong move to the upside. We had this channel on right here because when all this was chopping back and forth in here, we could tell that we were in consolidation, and we were looking for a breakout at this point right here on this smaller channel on the smaller time frame chart. And that's when that shooting star triggered, broke out a compression to the downside, gave us some flag setups, and so we were actually able to take advantage of this short move to the downside here. And then again, we had the 30-minute bullish hammer, triggered to the upside, and you can see that right into the close, the ES never looked back. So as day traders, again, we count on the 30-minute chart to give us directional bias. We drill down to the smaller time frame charts, look for our entries, and had some really nice signals off the 30-minute chart in ES futures today.